hey there.
Hey! Over here! Yeah? Hey, over here, Hunter!
If you are anything like me, you are always on the lookout for the next big game. And in 2025, there are quite a few to keep an eye on. One of the more recent ones is Monster Hunter Wilds, which is releasing fully on February 28th. Well, this past weekend, I had the opportunity to play through the opening story quest as well as take down some of the intro monsters during the open beta, and here are some of my thoughts as somebody who has never played the Monster Hunter lineup of games. First off, where most games have a class or a build, it appears that the Monster Hunter series is more focused around your weapon selection, with each weapon type giving a distinct playstyle. This serves as your class. Where other games might have a tank, a paladin, or an assassin, Monster Hunter has a longsword, dual blade, longbow, and a bunch of other different weapons that give the player a unique playstyle. Based on the beta and the follow-up from developers, the weapon selection and balance of these weapons will largely be balanced against each other to ensure that no one weapon type is preferable over the others. Personally, I enjoyed Sword and Shield and Dual Blades the most after trying out some of the slower, more animation-locked weapons. In terms of gameplay, this game feels very fluid, and I don't know if that's an upgrade from previous Monster Hunter games, but overall I found it fairly easy to play. My community here recommended that I play the game using a controller as opposed to mouse and keyboard, and it is clear that the game is optimized for the controller. I found it easier to play than some other titles that also offer both options. Now, in the beta, we are only given bare minimum equipment. I had no access to crafting or alternative weapon upgrades or upgrade paths, so some weapons did feel stronger than others. So for weapons during the beta, I wasn't really focused on damage or trying to be super high DPS or anything like that. I just wanted to figure out what I enjoyed so that way when the game fully came out, I would know what I'm starting with. Another thing that I really liked is the mount implementation. I spent most of my gaming hours in Guild Wars 2, which has a great mount implementation, and it felt really similar in terms of navigation. At first, the auto run feature kind of surprised me since it reminded me of the typical autoplay features of other games, but it was well done and definitely helps keep you on target when the monster you're hunting moves to a new area and you aren't super familiar with the map. So even though the auto run does kind of put you in autopilot mode for a little bit, it just kind of streamlines the experience so that way you don't get lost in the middle of a hunt. The only real criticism that I had, which many other creators in the Monster Hunter community highlighted, was that this game is not very well optimized for your average gamer. My computer is a fairly respectable build and was only able to really get up to medium settings while having the game still remain playable. I tried to bump things up a little higher and it actually killed my stream, which has never happened before. There are talks of an optimization patch before the full release of the game, so hopefully that is true and I'll be able to push those graphics settings up higher in the future. Really, the game is still very eye-catching and beautiful, even if your settings are turned down a bit. I just really hope that I will be able to bump these up and experience the full textures without having to shell out for new computer parts. But one of the big questions that I had before playing the beta, and I'm sure that you have, is how this game feels in regards to time commitments. Now, from what I can tell based on the beta, it seems like it fits into the casual gamer time slots pretty comfortably. From what I've experienced, most hunt quests are about 30 minutes depending on your skill. Some of them have timers that are set for 20 minutes that will actually fail if you exceed that timeline. So I expect there to be some amount of grind associated with the crafting system. And even if you need to grind multiple monsters to get through and craft some of these items, it does seem like you will be able to make decent progress in a single play session. My personal limitations are about an hour to an hour and a half at any given time. So I feel like I was able to enjoy the game and make progress with that time requirement. And if your time slot is even tighter, it'll still probably work out. Once the full story is out, we'll see how many cutscenes and where the checkpoints are, but I can imagine that most things are structured around the 30-minute to 1 hour time slot per activity, which kind of works out great for a casual, leisurely gaming experience. Overall, as a newcomer to the franchise, I think that it is a good entry point, and it feels like a good mix between group open world RPG and single player RPG, which I think is exactly what they were shooting for. I'm looking forward to diving into the crafting and gearing aspects of this game, and I think that you would likely be missing out if you didn't have this game on your wish list. But that is all I have for right now on Monster Hunter. Sometime after February 28th, you'll be seeing me dive deep into this game until the next big hit of 2025 drops. I know this is kind of short and sweet, but there it is. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to all my subscribers, and a special thanks to all of my members who support the channel. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.